Welcome to Bed Crime Stories podcast. I'm your host, T. If you like all things true crime, if you like it delivered in a peaceful, tranquil manner, if you like it clear and concise without drama, then I highly recommend you subscribe. And if you like what you hear, please smash the like button. It's a free way you can help. And now, without further ado, let's dig in. Well, hello, my true crime besties. I hope you guys are having a great day, a great morning, a great evening, wherever you are. I'm going to talk a little bit about the J Slater case. The small village of Masca, Tenerife is just that, small. A few homes, a cafe, several restaurants, a bus stop, some Airbnbs apparently, and around 90 residents. It is surrounded by volcanic mountains topped with thick, prickly brush. At 7 a.m. on Monday, June 17th, 19-year-old J Slater headed on foot into that inhospitable terrain, presumably in an attempt to shorten the walk back to where he was staying near Los Cristianos. Jay told one of his friends that he wasn't going to walk the nearly 20 miles along the serpentine roads back to his lodgings. Instead, he headed into the rugged landscape. Tragically, 4 weeks later, the bricklayer apprentice was discovered lifeless with multiple broken bones near where his cell phone last pinged. The Spanish Guardia Civil are saying that it looks like Jay suffered a tragic accident in which he fell to his death, and it's sounding like Jay died upon impact, which could explain why searchers scouring that area never heard the young man calling out for help. Video footage of the searchers show them hacking with machetes through thick vines and scrambling up rock faces. Did Jay take a step through a leafy canopy he thought would be onto ground and instead find himself plunging downward into a ravine? I heard on a British news station today that there is a path down the mountains there to the Masca beach, and it's 3 miles long. However, it's a path that requires hiking boots and gear, and Jay didn't have any of that, nor did he have water. They're also now saying that the area that Jay was traversing may have been enveloped in low cloud cover that morning, making it even harder to see his immediate surroundings. Jay was said to have been found with his possessions. Many, of course, are wondering if the stolen $12,000 Rolex was with him. He did send a Snapchat while in the car with the 2 older men as they drove to Masca early Monday morning. He sent a Snapchat to his friends saying that he had nabbed the watch off a fellow reveler. But that's not my main question. I want to know why Jay was in a state of mind that led him to make questionable decisions. Things like getting in the car with 2 older men, one of whom is a known drug dealer, and endure a 50-minute long ride on a narrow road to the Airbnb in Masca when he had his own place to stay in Los Cristianos, and it was near the club where the rave took place. Jay's friends have said that he wanted to keep partying or something to that effect, yet when he arrived at the Airbnb around maybe 5 a.m., 6 a.m., he and the 2 men, according to the 2 men, supposedly went straight to bed. This makes little sense. And why did Jay tell his friend Lucy that he couldn't go back to the Airbnb in Masca when they spoke that morning? Was it because Jay felt he couldn't retrace his steps back up the mountainous terrain? Did he not know how to get back there? Or was there some other reason why he didn't feel safe going back to the Airbnb to get water, to charge his phone, etc.? I'm also curious to know if any substances were found in his body. Hopefully they will do toxicology reports. Will we learn that Jay's thinking was skewed by some substance. It's not rational to decide to take off into that type of terrain without water, without food, without a charged cell phone, without the appropriate gear. I heard on an interview of a guy named Chris who lives in Tenerife and who works for Oasis FM and the Canarian weekly newspaper. Chris said that he believed from day one of Jay's disappearance, and the local police did as well, that Jay either slipped or tripped down into the ravine. It's also possible that he was pushed, although probably less likely. Why was Jay in such a hurry that morning? So much so that he wanted to walk back to his accommodations near Los Cristianos, instead of waiting 2 hours for a bus or waiting some time for a ride from one of the two older guys. This also said that he believes Jay wanted to take a shortcut. He likely saw the sea in the distance, and that could explain him stepping away from the safety of the main road and into a danger-filled landscape. Chris reiterated that for him, from day one, it was clear that Jay fell down a ravine that was somewhere between 600 and 2,000 feet deep, and he landed not on soft sand, but rather on hard rock. And he likely landed on his head, according to Chris. He also said it's easy to explain why initial searches did not find Jay. He said the initial searches were done at road level. Only later were searches done down into the steep ravines to look at the lower level. With so much vegetation covering the ground, it's easy to understand why helicopters and drones could not see through the covering to spot a body below. It sounds like it would not have made a difference if Jay's body was spotted earlier when it comes to saving his life. With such a long fall, Jay likely died instantaneously. And that's really what the hope is, because you don't want to think he was down there with broken bones, suffering from thirst, suffering from the heat during the day, and the cool air at night. Now, pathologists should be able to estimate from the degree of decomp and insect life just how long Jay was deceased. Back to revelations from this Chris person. He said that he'd been told that a large ransom was about to be offered for information regarding Jay's disappearance, and that was right before his body was found. And, per Chris, the Dutch search team that Jay's mother, Debbie Duncan, engaged arrived on Sunday night and assisted the Guardia Civil in the search that led to Jay being found. Chris is guessing that Jay was found with his phone, although he can't be certain. Although conspiracy lovers are not going to like this, it looks like Jay died because of an unfortunate accident. Now, the body was airlifted to Santa Cruz de Tenerife for official identification and autopsy. Chris also said he doesn't know if the Rolex was found with Jay. And according to the Daily Mail, Spanish police are refusing to say whether they have recovered the Rolex. In the Snapchat that Jay sent to his friends, boasted about and confessed to stealing a Rolex from somebody at the rave during an altercation outside Papagayo Beach Club near where he was staying. Perhaps the police do not want to let that out because they don't want to shame the victim in any way, but of course we all really do want to know, did Jay have a $12,000 Rolex on him? Debbie Duncan, Jay's mom, is insisting on seeing her son one last time, which will likely be traumatizing given how long Jay was out there in the elements. Currently, the charity LBT Global is assisting the family in filling out the paperwork needed to get Jay's body back to Britain. It sounds like it's going to be at least a week before that can happen, and his mother is planning to accompany him on the same flight. Flowers have been placed near where Jay was found. Some flowers from his mother read, "To my beautiful boy, I'm so sorry we never found you. I miss you so much. You will be forever young and forever missed." End quote. Jay's dad wrote, "To my boy, love, Dad, always. XXXX." A teddy bear wearing an England shirt was also left near the site. Now, locals in Tenerife are saying that they avoid the ravine where Jay's body was found because it's so dangerous. Elena Gomez, a local from Masca, near where Jay was found, said no one was surprised at how long it took to find the apprentice bricklayer. She told the Mirror, "You see how bad it is. We don't even walk there, so if someone gets into trouble, it's going to be hard for anyone to find the body. No one is surprised it took so long. Why he was there is a mystery. He should never have been going that way. Maybe he saw the ocean and thought it was the best way. We just feel so bad for his family, but are so proud of the searchers who found him. They never gave up." End quote. He was found just yards from his last known location in Parque Rural de Teño. I forgot to read you the note that Jay's brother Zach wrote to him. It reads, "Love you, little bro. Never in a million years did I think I'd be doing this. I'll look after Mom and Dad. Hope you're partying up there with Granddad. Hope to see you again someday. Rest easy, bro. I love you, Zach." And a source close to the family is suggesting that his relatives, Jay's relatives, who helped in the search, may have inadvertently walked past his body at some point. The source told the Sun newspaper, quote, "It hasn't completely sunk in yet. The hardest thing for her, Jay's mom, Debbie Duncan, is to hear he was so close to the original search site. I mean, it's entirely possible that they have walked past his body while searching for him." And last night, friends and well-wishers gathered at a memorial service for Jay at West End Methodist Church in Lancashire, I never say that right, where he was from, and they went there to pay their respects. And as part of the memorial, blue balloons were released. It's such a sad ending. That's all for now, and I'll see you guys next time on Bed Crime Stories.